Well, Oliver's here as well. Have a look at the international papers. Of course, they were dominated really this morning by what's been our main story as well, that terrible bomb attack in Pakistan dominating the headlines, Oliver.
That's right, particularly in Pakistan's Anglophone press. The Express Tribune carries the story of the attack on a crowded park in Lahore, where the city's Christians traditionally celebrate Easter. The offshoot of the Pakistan Taliban, which claimed the attack, said they had targeted it because it was an Easter celebration, though local police say that the majority of the victims were Muslim. Condemnation of the attack came from Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi, and the White House. The state of Punjab, where Lahore is located, has declared 3 days of national mourning, or of mourning rather, not national. Pakistan today reports the terrorist group Jamatul Ahrar saying they wanted to convey to the ruling Pakistan Muslim League N and the Prime Minister that we have arrived in Punjab and we will reach you. Witnesses complained of an almost complete lack of security at the park. This has been denied by the police, who said that their presence was adequate. A doctor at nearby Jinnah Hospital says he fears the death toll, which currently stands at about 70, will rise, with 138 of the wounded in critical condition.
Now, we've also seen Facebook having rather an unfortunate blip with its safety check.
That's right. The social network activated its safety check feature, which allows people to let friends know that they're safe. Facebook has been criticised in the past for not activating it for certain attacks, such as the one in Beirut last November and also this month's one in Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, the security check alert was sent out to many people who were nowhere near Pakistan. I got one myself, which was actually the first I'd heard of the attack, leading to a lot of confusion. The California-based company issued an apology saying this kind of bug is counter to our intent. We worked quickly to resolve the issue and we apologise to anyone who mistakenly received the notification.
I'll get it right next time. Now, another of our headline stories today, of course, is that hijacking of a demonstration in Brussels by far-right football hooligans, covered in the press too.
Yeah, some 400 hooligans made their way to Brussels from the north of the country, where they gate-crashed the peace demonstration and trampled on the memorial to the victims of last Tuesday's bombings. The francophone daily La Libre asks, how did these maniacs arrive at Place de la Bourse? How were they not stopped sooner around Nord Station or in Vilvoorde, where they took the train to Brussels? The mayor of Brussels, Yvan Meyer, is scandalised, accusing the Interior Minister of negligence for not ordering the cancellation of the far-right march. Authorities in Vilvoorde also came under fire, but they said that it was too dangerous to allow the hooligans to stay in the small town. Politicians across the political spectrum condemned the incident, but not Bart de Wever, leader of the separatist New Flemish Alliance, who said that he didn't want to accord too much publicity to the hooligans. La Libre says that next time he does condemn somebody, he stands to be accused of giving them free publicity.
Different story for you now. This is the controversy around the shooting dead of a wounded Palestinian knife attacker in Hebron by an Israeli soldier. It's also generating column inches in Israel itself, isn't it?
Yeah, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had condemned the soldier's actions, which some have called an execution. The soldier who shot the man in the head now faces court-martial. There have been rifts in Netanyahu's government, with a right-wing education minister, Naftali Bennett, calling the soldier a hero. The Jerusalem Post says that the soldier's mother has accused Defence Minister Moshe Yaalon of abandoning her son, and notes that Yaalon himself took part in the killing of PLO No. 2 Khalil al-Wazir in Tunis in 1988, doing effectively the same thing. Anshel Pfeffer, writing in Haaretz, says that Israel has got off the hook regarding the Hebron killing, as it came in the middle of a particularly busy international news week. The world has said nothing, which emboldened Netanyahu to switch to a more equivocal stance in recent days, he says.
OK, and finally we need an Irishman to tell us about this one. Luckily we've got one. Oliver's here. Ireland celebrating yesterday the centenary of one of the most defining events in its history. This is the 1960 Easter Rising against British rule.
Yes, it was an unusual commemoration because it didn't come on the actual date of the rising itself, but almost a month earlier, because Easter fell in late April in 1916. A lot of people are speculating that the government decided to have it at actual Easter because its proximity to St. Patrick's Day this year. So you could actually keep the ball running for a little bit longer. The Irish government and much of the country's establishment has been a little bit embarrassed about commemorating an armed insurrection, perhaps worried about giving too much legitimacy to the IRA of the current day. Others have said it's foolish to use today's standards to assess what was a very different world 100 years ago. Now, the Irish Times, which back in 1916 called The Rising the darkest week in Dublin's history, was a little bit more forthcoming about it in its editorial. The men and women in our uniform of our army, of the uniform of our army marching yesterday, are an assertion of sovereignty, of maturity and success as a state despite the difficult times, independent, democratic, tolerant, European. Now, there are some discordant voices. One of them is actually none other than the President, Michael D. Higgins, a man who's rather to the left of the current provisional government. The Irish Independent reports his speech on Saturday night when he paid tribute to the men and women of 1916, but also said that, quote, in many respects, we have not fully achieved the dreams and ideals for which our forebears gave so much.
Oliver, thank you very much. Oliver
You're
Farry
welcome.
with the press review for you here on France 24.